have scrubbers. Steel company. Steel. Car companies making cars that clean exhaust pipes. And because of this clean air, it helps business become innovative. Helps them become better. A good example of this one is the skies in LA. 20 years ago, we had 275 days of pollution days. Now there's probably about less than 30. No, there's some days of rain and stuff. I'm just saying that now today.
Perfectly fine. Anything else?
And do so. Right.
You sure?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Whenever you guys are ready, I'd like to call this house to order by calling up Raj, who's going to be the Prime Minister. Go ahead, Raj.
Start.
Oh yeah, and I don't time welcomes and thank yous,
Okay.
so you can do that at the beginning. And
Thank you all. Thank you. Okay. The motion is that Congress should pass the Clear Sky Act. And what are the proposition? Firstly, I'd like to, my first point is that Congress, or the Clear Sky Act would help alleviate air pollution related to health and environment problems. This could save people's lives, save radiation. It would protect against diseases by reducing some of it, and then fine particles. It would protect wildlife and habitats in our planet. It would save our planet from being polluted. Instead of always having it polluted, it would be clean. It will cut pollution of the earth quicker and it would be cheaper, and with more certainly using the cap and trade program. It enables power generators to continue to provide affordable electricity quickly and cost effectively. It encourages sure of new and cleaner pollution control technologies. This could save someone's business. If they're about to go over the edge, someone could sell them some credits. It doesn't replace authority of state and local governments to set specific limits. This is like big. It could save so many people's lives. It could cut down pollution. It could save people's jobs. It would cut down sulfur dioxide emissions by 73%. That is a lot. It would cut down emissions of nitrogen oxide by 67%, which is a lot too. It would cut down mercury emissions by 69%. These all produce cancers. Asthma and poisoning mercury can cause brain defects. This could save people's lives. These contribute to respiratory and cardiovascular problems. This would save us. I mean, this could save people from getting brain defects. If you had a child who was outside one day and then he accidentally got into nitrogen fumes or something, he would die or get some brain defect. But by this will cut it down, so there won't be that much of a risk of your child or anybody getting hurt by this, including yourself. Reducing acid rain, nitrogen, and mercury deposition. Cap and trade means only fixed amounts of emissions per plant can trade or sell with other plants. This will cut down the amount of the cost. It will cut down the amount of nitrogen used. The emissions. This could save tons of people. It would save billions in public health care. It goes beyond the Clean Air Act, originally passed in 62 and amended in 70, again in 90. Acid rain programs, which run the same way, achieve 99% on compliance in 10 years. That's a high rate. That would be a lot. We would be able to use nitrogen, we would be able to get more power and without less risk. This wouldn't be risky. It would be safer. It would protect against diseases. You don't want a disease, so it would protect against it. It would protect our wildlife. And our earth is getting dirtier and dirtier, and it's being polluted. This would protect it. This would save it. Eventually, the earth would be all smogged and everything would be dead, except this will help it. It will cut down pollutions for faster, cheaper, and with more certainty. And I urge you to vote in the proposition, or the opposite. Proposition's favor. Thank you.
Okay, hi, I'm Samantha 11. I'd like to thank everyone for being here.
Can I reset my timer?
Yeah, okay.
Member of government not to exceed 5 minutes.
We call you anything, right? Like Jessica or something?
What happened?
I call you Jessica?
If I longer hair, then yeah, sure.
Alright, I'd like to thank the judge, the audience, and the opposing team. I'd like to begin by refuting a couple points. The opponent said that the Clean Skies Act is bad, and it goes against our Clean Air Act. Well, the Clean Skies, how could it be bad? If we have power plants that, this is more of a business thing. Bush is trying to be pro-business. Clean Air Act just gives regulations for what can be taken out and what cannot, like toxins and so on and so forth. But in this Clean Skies Act, they have to buy these credits, which cost not just a few bucks or so on and so forth, but they cost millions of dollars. And that helps our businesses. But if they're operating like up here right now, let's say around 40%, which is under, with these credits they can be working around near 100%, where it would be safer for the environment. We're trying to help the environment. If you look at the way LA used to be in the 60s and how it is now, you can hardly tell if there's smog there. There used to be smog 274 days in LA, and that's only because there was some rain or something clear, or the sun was extra shiny. But they also said that it would repeal the requirements for waste and air toxins. It still wouldn't. We still have a Clean Air Act. It's just the Clean Skies Act helps us with the credits. So, and able to help or to take out the problem of pollution, we need the money to do that. The opponents also said that Bush wouldn't sign the Kyoto Act. He doesn't believe that we're going to have global warming, but what if he does? If he does, then this just shows that he's trying to help the environment by trying to protect us from global warming, which would be taking out the pollution. I'd like to start on some of my own points. Clean skies would help alleviate air pollution and related health and environmental problems. Now, if it's going to clean the environment, which we're all striving to do, all parties, Republican, Democrat, everyone. No, thank you. Also, it would cut sulfur dioxide emissions down 73%, which is very harmful to the body. It would also protect against diseases by reducing smog and fine particles, which would be, this is why people on work sites, they wear masks to keep dust and stuff out. But it also would protect our wildlife and habitats and ecosystem health. Our animals are much more cleaner. We don't have as much oil spills. We don't have as much pollution and smog. It would cut down pollution further, faster, cheaper, and with more certainty using cap and trade program. You can tell with these checks and balances in here that it's all going to be working out. Because if we still have which we do, the Clean Air Act and the Clean Skies, it'll keep the companies in balance. And plus, if we have the Clean Skies Act, instead of a business just not have, like, they don't have any money, so all those employees would go under, all the employees would lose their jobs, and it would just be terrible. It would be like Ford or GMC just cut out, and then all those millions of people would lose those jobs. Now with these clear skies, they can have those credits, and it would be enough money just to keep them in the game, so those people can have their job instead of just getting laid off. Like, I'm sorry, we're out of business, you don't have a job. Also enables power generators to continue to provide affordable electricity quickly and cost efficiently. Now, if we take that away because of environmental issues, then what are we going to run off? Steam. It worked in the past, but for our needs today, it won't at all. It encourages use of It does not replace authority of state and local governments to specific limits. Even though the federal government is the highest in power, states still have their own powers, and this does not get in the way of what they need or how much the state needs. And with mercury as a rising problem, it'll help take it out with people with credits. So if they do need that from the government, like instead of just taking out their company, then when they don't have something working, then they would know that they have a warning, and that's what they need to improve on instead of just losing their business. And that also creates brain defects, which is terrible. I would like to thank everyone again, Judge, and I hope you find in favor of the proposition.
Some of my opponent's points. At one point, they were talking about nuclear power plants and how the emissions created by them will, or the oxides or the pollutants created by them will harm the environment, or it's going to harm the earth. Well, nuclear power plants don't create any pollutants. That's why we had a topic about it months ago, or weeks ago, sorry. Okay, I also like to talk about, well, they started saying that CO2 is one part that we're missing and how that's the biggest part, and that's the only thing they say that they have, with that being a plus to their side. Well, our side has 3 more that it's helping with, which is nitrogen oxides, sulfur dioxides, and mercury. Now, all 3 of these are very harmful to citizens in the United States, such as, well, it's creating cancer, it's creating other things that will kill them, and it's also making them pay thousands and millions more dollars in health insurance and bills for hospitals. And I would also like to say that, oh, it doesn't have to do with Bush. Well, he's in, okay, basically half of Congress goes for what Bush says, so Bush has a huge effect on what's going to get through, and he's like legislative, I'm sorry, I don't remember his proper name, but I'm sorry, but yeah, but he has a huge part in deciding whether this is going to get passed or not. So I'd also like to summarize some of my team's points. Clear skies would help to alleviate air pollution related health and environmental problems, like I've already said. It would encourage the use of new and better pollution control technologies. Now, how's that going to be bad for us? It's not. It's great. I would also like to say that it would protect against disease by reducing smog and fine particles that go into their lungs or go into their blood, giving them a new type of disease that perhaps we don't know, or other diseases that are killers. It would cut pollution faster, farther, and cheaper with with using the cap and trade program, like my teammate Michael Gallagher, sorry, has said that if a business is just on the edge, then they want to buy more credits so that they can go up and they don't have to lay off citizens or make a community go down the drain. Now, the United States business, or all their businesses, support this idea because they have people that work in those, all the people inside those businesses don't want to harm the earth. They don't want to do anything worse for the earth. They want to make it better, just like we do. Thank you, and I hope you vote for our side.
Thanks, guys. Can I ask you guys to step out? when I'm done, I'll tell you guys second. Everything.
You have 5 minutes.
First of all, I have to thank the judge, the audience, my team, and my opposing team. The motion is that the U.S. legal system should have the option of charging juveniles as adults in murder cases. First thing, or I would like to go over some of my points. The focus of it should be handled as a public health issue. Public health issue, not a criminal. I mean, if say someone was to commit a crime, it's not. If you're a kid, your brain's not fully developed until you're 25. You could not know what you're doing. If someone's teasing you, like you might just want to think about killing them because they're teasing you. They're bugging you so much. I mean, they should be at least 17 to execute them, or to be tried, not anything younger. Jews are at risk because of the backlash effect. I mean, some people could be tried innocently. 1 in 3 people is tried innocently. Parents should be held more accountable for their children's actions. The parents should be teaching their kids not to do this, not the kids. It's not the kids' fault. Sometimes their brains aren't fully developed. A majority is not clearly defined in our society. It should be more consistent. I mean, we shouldn't charge everybody. Because it's not fair. Because some people, they don't know what they're doing. Find the real enemies. The people. Say someone were to shoot someone. The real enemy is the person who gave or sold the kid the gun. It's not the kid's fault. It's the person who gave it to him or the supervisor. Mixing juveniles and adults together results in victimization and suicide. There's rehabilitation. They can become better. If you have a mistake, it's not like that you can't fix it. For one little mistake, say someone was teasing you and you accidentally did it. You can change. It's not like you're the same forever. Yes.
Couldn't you just go and ask someone for help? Someone else could take it, an adult.
Well, what if there's no one to supervise him? It's not his fault. And also, it's the kid is so enraged by the other person. It's not the kid's fault. And that's why I'm confident that you'll vote in the opposition. All right.
Second speaker, the proposition. Our last 5 minutes each from the opposition.
I would like to begin by thanking the judge, audience members, my opponents, and my fellow team members. I'd like to begin by refuting a few points. When my opponent said that when the 13-year-old killed the 15-year-old and he should be tried as an adult, right now he's being tried as a juvenile, but the parents of the son that was killed didn't even bring him to court. It's a separate family or group that's bringing the family that killed the 15-year-old to court. Even though, yes, it is wrong that kids are killing each other, but it's only so rare that's why it gets so much publicity. But if you're going to put someone on death row, such as we put, right now there's about 600 people on California's death row. But because of that, people die like all the time when you're sentenced to death. But it doesn't keep adults from not killing each other. We still have war, which is justified. But we still have people out like gangs and just regular fighting and just kids buying guns and so on and so forth. Just keeps going. I said they should pay for their wrongdoings. That's right. But if you're a juvenile, you can stay in juvenile hall until you're 25. That's when you're released. And if you're just like this kid here, the 13-year-old, he would stay there until he's 25, and that's a long time. But yes, I'll take your point.
Yes, when you said that when you said that kids are buying guns, but aren't they the wrong ones because they're the ones that are buying them, not the ones that are selling them?
No, he's exactly right. It's terrible that kids do that. But we're not finding to say that all kids are innocent. There's kids that are guilty, but it's not just the kid's fault. It's his environment that he's in. And adults, when they're kids, if they're put in an adult prison, it's a different environment, and it's not the same as it would be in juvenile, as they're able to give them a nurturing environment, help them grow. But also peer pressure can lead kids to doing something wrong, just like in England. There is, it's not in the US, but just like in England, there's 2 bullies that bullied this kid that was just small and wore glasses and was just, he wasn't the biggest guy and everyone made fun of him. One day they threw him over a bridge and killed him because he was scared of water. And that just puts a pit in your stomach, but they only got 18 months. But in America, if that happens, they'll go to juvenile until they're 25. But still, the peer pressure took those bullies to actually go and do it after they were dared. They said their rehabilitation doesn't work. Of course it works. We have new criminals on different programs to try to get their life back. You know, go get a job, work in a mechanic shop. You can even watch when the foreign hires a convict that's trying to get a date, but also he wants to still work. You know, and it just shows that they're just. It may sound funny, I'm sorry, but that's true. That's how life works. But also, the child doesn't have a fully developed brain. Like all us debating, we don't have a fully developed brain until 25. That's why they're released at 25. Because once they have that fully developed brain, they're actually able to make decisions quicker, and their reflexes aren't as fast when they're younger, but they're able to control them more, and their emotions. And after being in juvenile hall, it could even help them socially, even though it's bad that they went there. But they're around people that are trying to fix themselves too, and they could give themselves advice. But I'd like to go back and review some of my own points. They, all criminals should be handled in the same way. If you're an adult, it should be handled as an adult would be in court. If you're someone under, in the juvenile age, you would be handled as a juvenile. And also, it's a public health issue, and it's not really a criminal issue for kids if they go to adult prison. Because there's a huge difference between the adult prisons and the juvenile halls, you know? But they should be at least 17 if the execution of juveniles is cruel and an unusual punishment. I'm sorry, I spelled something wrong, but just if you send a kid to adult prison, they're not going to be having the same effects as it would in a juvenile prison where they're. I'm sorry, juvenile. Thank you.
Nice. Now, you turn to remember it well.
Hand the roast off.
All right. For a 3-minute remote. What?
Third.
All right. All right, welcome again over here. I'm going to be the judge for this round. My name's Andy. Hello, everyone. I'm judging the well, I didn't judge him, but my assistant here will be doing the time. She'll be doing yeah. She'll be doing the times and everything, let you know 4 minutes left, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, half, and then time out. We want to clap for everyone who's going up and coming down. Just be respectful and everything. Keep it in order, and yeah, you guys should do good.
What's your judging philosophy?
Just debate the way you've been taught, and just go through.
And do you allow testing notes?
Yeah, you can. Just not to, oh, wait, yeah, you can.
To the speaker
Sorry,
as well?
You can pass them.
How about to the speaker?
You can to the speaker, but I'll be docking points to that.
Okay, alright,
But you can pass amongst yourself when you're sitting down here.
alright.
Whatever.
What's that?
Start.
Go for it.
First, I'd like to thank the judge and the audience, my teammates, and my president. First thing, I'd like to tell you a story. 36 million people are now free in Iraq. Now that's a good story. Now I'd like to go over some more points. Iraq violated UN resolutions. Now we've made them better. Iraq is now free. There's so many people that are free in Iraq. Saddam was a cruel dictator and terrorized his own people. And now he's gone. And he's not terrorizing his own people. There are now free elections in Iraq. They recently just elected the new prime minister or president. He has reduced terrorism. This has saved so many people's lives. Sure, there has been some small harm, but yet it's done so much good. 36 million people have been saved. A whole country is now free. It has secured oil resources for the world. And it has secured military bases for protection in the entire region. Yes?
Small harm? There is no small harm done. A lot of people have been killed because of what America decided to do for us.
Yes, that might have happened, but compared to how many people have been saved, 36 million people have been saved. That's like almost the population of California. No, thank you. Women's rights have been advanced. Now, people aren't scared to walk the streets and scared of being captured. They can walk the streets freely. It has confirmed that there are no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, and therefore, there is no threat anymore. Because the U.S. has taken down the threat. There are elections now. It's free. And I think that's a very good thing. And it has sent a very clear message to other dangerous countries that, yes?
You said that there is no more threat there. Then why is our army still there looking for? What are they looking for in Iraq?
That's not the point, but we're saying that Iraq has done more good than harm. We're not saying that why are our troops still there. There is minimal loss of life compared to this 36 million people compared to, say there was one person who died, he could have saved 100 lives. Yes?
The statement that the troops are still there, that makes the assertion that we've taken away the problem.
Yes, that's what we're saying, that we're doing more good than harm. We're not saying that why are our troops still there. No, thank you. Sweeping reforms, an example for the countries in the region. If say there's another Afghanistan, Libya, for example, has now allowed checks of their country, thanks to Iraq, us going into Iraq. It's unified millions of people. Oil and food corruption has been stopped. Entire experience has improved and strengthened U.S. military and intelligence communities. This has saved so many people's lives. This is a very good thing. There might be a little harm, but it's nothing compared to how many people have been saved. Thank you, and I urge you to vote in the proposition's favor.
Very well, now we'll have the second for the opposition, or the first person for the opposition.
All right. First, I would like to rebut some of the points. They're saying that there is minimal damage. Millions of people for them have died, and millions of people on our side have died. Millions of people are still dying right now. that it's done more good than harm. People dying. That it's good that the women have the rights and everything, and supposedly they're free. Why are we still there then? If they're free and there's no problem there, and we've already solved everything, why are we still there? Our troops there's more troops there than anywhere around the world. That's the only thing. And they said that the food shortages have gone out. Why are people still starving on the streets? Have you seen the news that there's people still starving on the streets? I don't think we've done that much good. You said 36 million people were saved. Well, those 36 million people compared to the people that we've lost and the people that they've lost, of course.
Alright, we didn't say 36 million saved. There's a huge difference between being free and saved. And plus, when you said millions of people are dead on both sides, and well, just 36 million is no big deal, only 10,000 Iraqis have died, and only 1,000 or 10,000 have died on our side, not millions. I don't know where you got that from.
Right. People getting shot in the street still. Oh wait. You guys said that they've been free. And what are they using their freedom to do? They're using it to shoot us. No thank you. No thank you. And you guys said that Saddam Hussein is gone. There is really no information that Saddam has died, or that any of his, no thank you, any of his troops or anything is completely gone. That's why we are still there, and that's why no thank you. And that's why we are still fighting for them. And there is no reason why we should stay there and lose more people every day. People missing their families. People missing their families. People dying. People, no thank you. People killing people. I think we should just leave them alone, and it would be better. And if we had not that many people, Saddam did not kill that many people. We have killed more people than he did. No thank you. No thank you. They kept on saying that there is minimal damage compared to the good that we've done. There are a lot of people that are dying, and there are a lot of people that are suffering from this. Not just physically, like dying and everything, but mentally too, missing their families. What about the families over here that their husbands gone to war, their father's gone to war? What's gonna happen? And yes.
They knew what the risk would be taken even when they got married, when they joined the army. That's why they got in the job, because they knew what it would take. Maybe they don't want to die for someone, but if the job calls, they will.
They won't die for someone. Yeah. They did not know they didn't know the cost of it. They thought that it would just be that it would just be a few months there, maybe a year. But they've been there for what? 4 years, 5 years? Nothing. Nothing. And also the cost. Thousands of dollars, millions of dollars have been, billions of dollars have been, billions of dollars have been wasted on this, on weapons, on food, sending food over there, on the upgrades to our technology. It's costing us a lot of money. The taxes have been raised, and you said that it saved the oil for the world and all that. First of all, they burned a lot of their oil. They just lit their oil on fire so we wouldn't get it. And they destroyed a lot of the oil. I don't think that's enough for the whole world, even if they didn't destroy the many stuff that they did. Alright, there were only a few terrorist attacks before Iraq, but now there are many more terrorist attacks. We've stopped most of them, but it's not because of the war in Iraq, our troops in Iraq. It's because they just calmed down and they're like sort of getting scared of it, but they're getting even more mad, and sooner or later they're gonna break out and they're gonna try and attack us again and again and again until they get us. I know that you will vote for the opposition side because with these points that I have. Thank you very much.
For the second speaker for proposition.
I'd like to begin by telling a story. I want to tell a story. 36 million people are free in Iraq. Well, that's a great story. Right. Troops, they, one of their points of information, and also when they came up, the opponent said that troops are still there and there must be danger. Well, of course there's danger. That's why they're still there. But just because they're still there doesn't mean that it's, oh no, you walk out, you get shot right away. They're there for a reason. They got the job because they knew what the risk would be. Losing their life, probably the worst that can happen, but they knew that's what the country would call for. And also when they said that billions of dollars are lost sending food over, you can't put a price on life. And millions of people on our side have died, and also on both sides. Well, only 1,000 and so died as Americans, and 10,000 died as Iraqis. Why are we still? Well, I'm sorry. They said that people are starving. Well, they said that we're spending billions of dollars and sending food over. I don't see how they're starving. No, thank you. No, thank you. They said it does no good over there in Iraq. Well, with 36 million people free in only 2 years, I think that's pretty good considering how we started out in the Revolution. American Revolution, when we had help from the French and Spanish. So take your point.
You said that people aren't getting shot in the streets. They don't even have to walk out of the streets. They're getting shot when they're sleeping. They're getting shot at night.
Can I ask you to repeat that? Yeah. All right. Freedom using. Oh, they use their freedom to kill us. Well, I highly doubt it when we get thousands of letters and millions of letters sent to us every day about how much they're so grateful to Americans and thank you. How thankful they are that we came in and the women are actually able to work, they're able to take out the veil now because when Saddam Hussein was in power, he was able to take them off the street for minuscule reasons, put them in a stadium that Americans built for him a long time ago and just shoot them. What kind of freedom is that? Of course, yes, they had elections, but it was just one big ballot, one big game, only candidates Saddam Hussein, one big box, and an X in it. All you had to do was pick it up, put it in the box, and they counted it up. Probably got 1 or 2 votes. Yes, I'll take your point.
Wearing the veils wasn't because of Saddam. That was part of their religion.
Well, even if it is a part of their culture or religion, when Saddam was in power, it's a choice. Now they have a freedom of choice. They can wear it or not. When they took it off, they're good as dead. All right, no, thank you. I said we killed more than them. Well, this war is justified. If first we see a problem, we thought there were weapons of mass destruction, but that was bad information. But since we were there, there's a few bugs that hadn't been taken care of. And because of that, we were able to go in, free 36 million people. They said the troops didn't know the cost. Of course they didn't know the cost. Who does? If you get any job, you can die anywhere, anytime. There's probably thousands of people that die on the power lines every day when they go to work. But they say that taxes are raised. Well, taxes, if that's such a big problem, then why is it not in Iraq? We're talking about Iraq. They said that no evidence of Saddam dead. Like, well, of course he's not dead. But he's already captured in prison. He's no longer in power. They said, they said only a few terrorist attacks. Well, yeah, there's only a few terrorist attacks now, but before there's in Wyoming, Ohio, New York City. I think that was the most devastating one. And when that happened, everyone was an American. Because they felt, well, they didn't really, but they could tell what we were going through because that's what they had to live with. But, and then when that happened, who came to our aid? Well, no one really. Maybe 1 or 2 speeches from some important people, that was about it. But when Iraq was in trouble, we weren't playing the part as world police, we were playing the part as Big Brother. We were protecting our fellow humans, which we're supposed to do. Everyone has a right to be a human. and to live freely, just as Americans do. And like I said before, you can't put a price on life with billions of dollars in lost. And they said there's a minimum change in Iraq. That's a huge change. 36 million people, as in one individual each. Oh, that's it. Sorry. I'd like to thank the judge, the audience, my opposing team, timekeeper, and my team. Sorry. Oh, my bad.
Sorry.
I thought you were going like rock.
Well, he didn't.
Now representing the second speaker in the opposition.
I would like to start off by saying over some of my opponent's points about the veil. We women, we still can't go out in public because it's against our religion for a man to see a woman without a veil. It's actually in our religion. So even if Saddam was still there, we still have to wear it. And about his telling a story about 36 million who have died, that is repetitive because his teammate just said it, like in the beginning of when he was talking. And now I would like to say a couple of my points. People are getting shot in their sleep. And it's not just because of Saddam being there, it's just because the U.S. Army assumes that they're terrorists or something. Yes.
You said people are getting killed in their sleep, but it's lessened down by a lot since the U.S. has intervened.
How is it lessened down by a lot? There's a lot of people. Yes.
You just said that Saddam is there. You know, he's been captured and taken.
I said that since he hasn't been there. And then, yes.
You said that 36 million people, we said that 36 million people killed, we said freed.
Oh, well, I must. No one would have died if we never went there. Think about how many lives would have been, yes?
If no one would have died, well, there's more, before we went in, more people were being killed. They're getting shot in a stadium just for not wearing a veil. But now they have a freedom of choice where they can or not wear it. But before, when they couldn't, they would just be picked up in a truck and shot.
As I said before, they don't have a freedom or chance because it's against our religion. Yes.
If you're in Iraq, you don't always have to be the religion you're talking about. And if you weren't, you would get shot.
Yeah, that is true because they're really strict about religion. And I would like to continue with my point that no one would have died. Well, actually, less people would have died because, less people would have died because soldiers aren't killing as many innocent people, and yes.
Our soldiers aren't killing innocent people, we're killing insurgents, and the insurgents are killing innocent people, not us.
But their soldiers are owned by President Bush. Yes.
Soldiers are not owned, it's a job. You don't just go pick up a soldier and buy him.
No more points of information, please. And about what he just said, Bush declares that it's his troops and that he can do whatever he wants with them. And if I can continue with my points, no one would have died if we never went there. Well, actually, less people would have died because our soldiers are just going there and saying if they see a terrorist or something, they'll just say, oh, they're a terrorist, we must kill them. No more points of information. And they're just, a lot of innocent people dying. Think about how many people have died day by day. Think about how many innocent people. How many soldiers have died there since we have started this war with Iraq? Why are we still there if there is no harm being done? Well, if we have been accomplished our job, why are we still there? Now let's go on to some more of my points. Tens of thousands have died. Think about how many innocent soldiers and people that live in Iraq have died. It's just upsetting. The U.S. is destroying Iraq piece by piece. Instead of killing innocent people, they should just fish out the Bin Laden's group it's hurting many people day by day. And anyway, small harm, Bush violated Iraq's right. If Iraq has done its job, why is America still there? With less support equals less people. And less people are joining the army. That will lead to a draft. Not just the lives of the people who have died, their families are devastated. Many Iraqis are protesting. Mostly Iraqis, some Iraqis don't even agree with what the Americans done. They say that, well, say if on the news, a soldier would have went up on national TV and said, we are helping Iraq to be a perfect place. What would you think Iraqi would have said? Our place was already perfect to begin with, and thank you, I urge you to vote for our opposition.
Alright, now we'll recognize the proposition, the last speaker.
Opposition.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, opposition.
Yeah. They go after each other.
Apologies.
Oh, it's okay. I was just like, wait, so
Some of my colleagues' points were that tens of thousands of people have died, and even more are still dying. Not all of the violence has stopped in Iraq. They're stating that we made a perfect place, that no one is killed there anymore. That's not how it is. People are still being killed. Hundreds of billions of dollars have been spent. That has put us in a very big money crisis. We have had raised taxes and things like that. They said you can't put a price on lives. Well, they're saying that it's good that all those people were saved, and even though they're still dying, but all the people that have already died. So it balances out to the people that have already died and are still dying are getting over to the people that have been saved. Iraq had very few terrorists before the war, and now there are many because they're all joining in Iraq to fight America. So again, more lives. There was no hard evidence of weapons of mass destruction. So we never found any. There was never evidence of any. So that just doesn't work. There's getting less and less support for U.S. Military. So less support means there's going to be a draft and more lives. So they said things like, a good story, we saved this many people. Those people that we saved are still dying. Now, yeah, that just takes care of that part. They said that the people that were dying is a small harm. A small harm, tens of thousands of people are dying. And it's not just their lives that are ruined, it's their families' lives, their friends' lives. A whole bunch of people their lives are being ruined by the war in Iraq. So when we say tens of thousands of people have died, you have to add on to the families of those tens of thousands, the friends of those tens of thousands, and then you will get the real number of how many people's lives have been devastated by this war. This war has done many harms, and those harms outweigh the goods. That is why you should vote for the opposition.
I'd like to say thank you again. I'd also like to start off by refuting some of my opponent's points. They started out, multiple times throughout their statements, they said that people are still being killed. And they're being killed because there's still terrorists going in there. That's why we're in there, to take care of the terrorists and to secure the government there and the things that we've tried to make right and the freedom that we have in there today. They also talked about how there's going to be a draft. Now, they think that there's going to be a draft. Now, I know multiple people and other thousands of people that want to go to Iraq to help free those people, to help fight for the United States, to help them. Also, they said before that millions of people have died. I guess they clarified that, but it's only thousands. And so they said 10,000 people have died and how it adds on to their families. Well, this has helped to save 36 million people. Now, compare 36 million to 10,000, and you get that 36 million is a lot heavier on the scale. Okay, they also said that people are being killed in bed, and how they're being killed. Well, they're being killed by the terrorists and the insurgents. They're not being killed by U.S. troops. U.S. troops are fighting for them. Why would they just want to shoot somebody that they're trying to fight for? I'd also like to talk about how they said that we're destroying Iraq. We're trying to help rebuild Iraq to make it a democracy, to make it a right government, to make it free. Oh, they also talked about how Saddam Hussein is not dead or isn't killed yet. That's because he's going to have a trial by his own people that he had, well, before, and how they're going to see what's the correct sentence for him, which is just in the United States. Okay, no one died. They also said that no one died before in Iraq before we got there. Now, how's that so when Saddam Hussein, one of the rulers, was going out and just killing people randomly for small things that they did? Even if he didn't like them, he'd try killing their families, any relatives, anything that they had in their bloodline sometimes. Also, they said that wasted money. Sorry, I'm speeding. It's just because I have a lot of stuff. They also said how it's wasting money. Now, how is this wasting money? Well, you're like saying that there can be a price on life. There isn't. It's completely unmeasurable. Troops. Now, troops, the United States troops knew that they would have to make a sacrifice sooner or later, or they'd have to make some kind of sacrifice. They're going into the army. They signed for the army. They knew what they were going to be enlisted to. They knew what they had to do if they were called upon. So, if they didn't expect that, then I'd like to say thank you, and I hope you vote in our favor.
Thank you very much, everyone. If you could, please just walk outside. Close the door behind you if you could. I appreciate it. And same with you all. Appreciate it.
Great job. Good debate. Very good. Very good, Chick. Very good.
And let's see what else. Your closing arguments were very good. You answered all the questions brought up. You were able to throw it right back at them and stuff. I mean, it was really good. Both teams did that very well. Answered questions very well. And then also for the opposition side, very organized, and your questions or rebuttals were good. I just would say try to get a little bit more questions out. But for this round, I'm gonna have to go with the proposition side because they were able to convince me of. I was able to be convinced by the proposition side. So, are there any questions for me?
Speaker.
I'm not gonna be listening. I'm sorry. Apologies.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good.
You give your place for the office?
What's that?
Oh, you said a minute.
Yes.
Once I was aboard.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you have a suggestion with it being such a huge
We
topic?
gotta thank the tank.
Thanks.
Thank you.
With it being such a huge topic, how to manage?
At least now I know this.
How to manage? How to manage? It's a huge topic.
No, it helps you.
Any suggestions for it?
Well, thank you for invading
Well, thank you for doing that.
No, thanks.
Don't worry about it. It's my fault.
Take care. Good luck the rest of the day. Basically, the only thing is the. Oh, sorry.
Lee Harris.
Lakewood Middle School, Sam Harrison. 28 points for Campbell Hall, Cooper Green. Cooper. 27th place for the Monroe School, Ilana Javon. 26th place from Chadwick, Jason Toombs. GAS. 22nd place from La Contenta Middle School, OBG.
I had to get one too. Good job, you guys. They did good.
We have gas.
First one.
Number 3. From Townsend,
Hey guys. You just to feel that good feeling.
19th place from Chadwick, Stephen Martini.
Ooh, yeah, isn't that great?
17th place, Disney Springs, Stephen EPR. In 15th place, from Nicolay Middle School, DMJ.